Portugal.
In Portugal, there's a YouTube show full of fun facts you need to know. Carl rings the bell and the members show to the GMP morning show. Featured guests will come and they will blow your mind. The audience will do so in kind. A little vanity mixed with some insanity on the morning show with GMP.
Good morning, Portugal, and I'd like to welcome you to another fantastic day.
Hey, Gumpers.
Hola, bon dia, alegria. Munson here with a Good Morning Portugal show, live stream and podcast. The Feelgood Friday edition on this, the 22nd of March already. 22nd of March, 2024. How are you today? Tudo bem? Como estás? Do let me know in the chat, if you will, and send pictures and videos to 913-590-303. What's this I hear? Oh, T-Duck is here this morning with a full house of contributions and content. So good to see you here this morning. The Bon Dia Alegria Gumpers at 7:56 this morning at 7:38. Coach Turner was also in and James was in at 7:47. Jumbo time, 7:47. Thank you very much, gentlemen. The three wise men of the Gumpocalypse in their full constellation and lineup this morning on this Feel Good Friday. Oh, Gemini Bradshaw also here. How are you doing, Gemini? Thank you for your feedback. I think you like the real estate videos, or was it that particular property that you like that I popped up yesterday? Put a couple of real estate, well, some Portuguese dream home videos, a couple of those yesterday. Lovely to be able to do so from Carl Hyde, of course, and from Vitor Costa. Had an interesting chat with him on the phone yesterday as well. Oh, and a good session last night. Thanks a lot, Vera. Great to chat with you from Mortgage Direct last night. The Understanding Mortgages webinar in Portugal, Understanding Mortgages in Portugal, mortgage rates, real estate updates. Not so much of the former. Sorry, not so much of the, which order did I read that out? Anyway, we had a great session learning about mortgages in Portugal last night, a great Q&A, and a great Dream Team session as well. My cultural question was, what is the best way for people to prepare for a Portuguese Easter? Which was a bit of a damp squib, which is not what you're meant to be eating at Easter time. Follar is the traditional pastry. That went down like a lead balloon. You know, the bread basically with a boiled eggs in it. And my mistake, you're not meant to eat the boiled egg, apparently. It's just for decorative purposes, according to Gilda. She anytime she's preparing for a public holiday in Portugal, it's gin, I think, that greases the runners for her. We had Daniel talking about eating bacalhau, as you might expect. But it would appear lamb and goat are the traditional meats for Christmas. On the Sunday, no eating of meat, I think, as a Lent gesture until Easter Sunday, which is, of course, is it a week on Sunday, I believe? So a week today will be Good Friday, and Easter Sunday will be a week this coming Sunday. So thank you very much, Dream Team, for an excellent session. Sarah Davey was also there, of course. Shari from Greenback, helping people. An exciting time for Americans and filing their taxes. Shari was all over that as ever last night. And the wonderful Carolina Muralha from Casa Portuguesa. She was with us and also telling us about the webinar for next week. The webinar for next week will be about utilities next Thursday at 7:30. So it could be some useful information for you there. If maybe if you're already here and you want to change, or if you want to get up to speed on who you're going to be connecting with, literally, when it comes to all the utilities, phone companies, internet provision and that sort of thing. So that's next Thursday at 7:30. Today, Clyde is going to be here. You've seen Colleen on the screen. Oh, that's a good name for a feature. Colleen on the screen. It's going to be Clyde on the screen, which doesn't rhyme. I wonder what else we can rhyme with Clyde this morning. Anyway, Clyde will slide onto your screen at around 9 this morning. Looking forward to chatting with Clyde. The last time I had a chat with him, Clyde Showalter of Portugal, the place, we were sat in Alcobaça having a coffee not far from the Opera Cafe. And I remember having a great chat with Clyde. Very interesting man. And he's going to, well, when I was talking to him yesterday about what he'd like to discuss on the show this morning, what he loves about Portugal. And I would be very interested to hear from you as well, what you love about Portugal too. So let me know. Let's recap on that, shall we? Let's review. It's all been a bit serious in many ways, hasn't it? Although the palpable relief of not having to fill T-Duck's vacuum today. Nice one, James. Pam also in now, and Antonio F. Anna, thank you for being here. Sweden, Portugal, Anna. And Owen, thank you for the track yesterday that you sent me, Owen. Great job. Alan Martins, hello from Massachusetts. So we better say hello in case Alan has to go to bed soon or already is in bed and drops off to dreamland. So good morning to you and Pam. Yes, Pam Smith. Thank you for the lovely. Oh, I think I need to find that. I didn't see that in time yesterday. I think, where are you in my almighty WhatsApp collection of wonderful contributions to the show? 913-590-303, that is. Oh, here it is. Here's the lovely image that Tony had organised to be published in the local paper on the event of their wedding anniversary. Let me bring it to the screen for you now. This is lovely. Well done, Tony. Here it is for you now. You're talking of Alcobaça. You'd have seen this in Alcobaça, perhaps, if you're looking at the newspapers over the last week or so. To my darling wife, Pam, happy wedding anniversary. All my love now and forever from Tony. Isn't that lovely? How wonderful to see that in the paper. Still an important thing, I think, the newspaper, isn't it? It's what we grew up with. And lovely to see something in the paper. They're looking out at you, especially when it's beautiful news like that or a beautiful announcement like that. Well done, Tony. Thank you, Pam, for that. Oh, Antonio Barbosa also in. Oh, Antonio, thank you very much for your recent contribution over at the Portugal Club. You're talking about the changes to the new Portuguese ID cards. They've got a chip on them now, haven't they? This is in anticipation of the chip actually being under your skin. No, only kidding. Just an early April Fool's joke. But all the changes to the new Portuguese ID cards, which I believe are going to be coming out. Oh, yeah, scheduled for the 10th of June, 24. Portugal Day, of course. That's great. So thank you for that information over there. I want to take you to the Portugal Club as well, just to get a little bit of input from you. We've got a poll running. What you'd like to know if you were to do a Portuguese language boot camp. I would like to share. Well, I'd like to ask you what you'd like to. If you had 30 days to learn something within the Portuguese language sphere of influence, what would it be? I've got some options already, and we'll come back to those. Facebook user in. Is that Shelley? Good morning to you. And that doesn't sound like Shelley with a boom dia todos. Who would that be, I wonder? Let us know who you are, if you will. And Portuglish, where are you, mate? Are you signalling a little bit of an advert for the Man Cave tonight? Myself and Doug won't be on this evening at our... I was going to say our regular time. It's not really a regular time because it was the first time ever that we did it last week. Over the weekend, we'll probably do Sunday night at 9, so it won't be fluffing for the Man Cave tonight. But let us know what you're talking about tonight on the Man Cave, if you will. Andrew Portuglish, Lord Gilchrist, of course. Just picked up my Portuguese passport. When does the plane leave? Home, sweet home. Here I come, Sir Alan, in Massachusetts, but Portugal is home. And Andrew loves Springtime in Lisboa, which sounds like a beautiful movie, doesn't it? And Pete is here as well. Look, did they say which 2024 it was? Could be 3024. Oh, you cynic, Peter. It could be. Is that one of the things you love about Portugal? Let us know what you love about Portugal. Andrew Gilchrist has done that already. I love Springtime in Lisboa, the jacarandas. Did they say which 24 it was then, you rascal, Peter? Allowing there for administrative and general paperwork. 3024 is... Oh, look, and the Global Nobles as well. Good morning. Greg is here from the Global Nobles. Good morning, Greg. Great to see you popping up yesterday in the club. Is there still going to be a meetup in Braga in May? Yes, there is. Are you up for that? Who's coming to Braga in May? Is going to climb those steps. That's a great reminder. Thank you very much. Lots of reminders of events this morning. Bon dia Malta, bon fim semana. We've got some lovely events from Bairandi to preview for you. And as well as Clyde Showalter joining us this morning, we've got Siobhan joining us at around 9:30 this morning from Aquinta. In Salir de Porto, from Aquinta, de Salir de Porto. She'll be joining us and letting us know about this event that's coming up this weekend, their Spring Fair, Festival Primavera at Aquinta Salir de Porto. That's this weekend, 22nd, 23rd. I've got a rugby poster. Where on earth did that go as well? There's a rugby gathering at... where has that gone? I thought I downloaded that one. This weekend, Colin, Rugby Colin. was telling us about an event coming up. I've got an amazing event coming up myself with Rugby Colin next week. I'll tell you about that too. Oh, here it is. Here's the rugger for you this morning. Oh, I'd already put it up. There's me panicking unnecessarily. 23rd and tomorrow, there's a bar and grill barbecue. Four Horsemen will be playing live music. And that's and in Souflavesh, the inflatables for the youngsters as well, and that will be Caldas Rugby Club playing Guimarães, the senior team there, and it will be, is that 15 euros there, which includes everything, the rugby, the music. Not sure how much you would get to eat for that, but that would be pushing it, wouldn't it? Expecting to be fed as well for that. So you've got the kids 10, the adults 15, 18 and above. And if you're 6 and under, you can get in free there. And it's the 26th anniversary. Is that of the club? I wonder there. Caldas Rugby Club, a great organisation. Have been over there. Thanks, Colin, for that invitation right there. And that'll be Guimarães playing Caldas tomorrow, 23rd. And that's it opens up at 13:30, a little bit of Portuguese vocabulary. Até durar, till late, I'm guessing that would mean as a translation. Antonio F, I'm sure, will help me out if that is not correct. What is happening? This is what it occurred to me as I was over on Twitter, now X. It's funny, isn't it? It asks you what is happening, which I think when things began over there on Twitter and X, it was quite inoffensive. And now it's, I think, more like, what on earth is happening, especially over there. That was our opening meme this morning. Back to your opening gambits then this morning, and vacuums to fill or not, as the case may be. There are lies we tell our kids. There are dad jokes from T-Duck this morning. There is a Bom Dia Todos e Feliz Sexta-feira, putting the sex in Sexta-feira on this Feelgood Friday. Off to collect the car this morning as it's ready for the Portugal trip. See what he did there? No, not that one. Hooah! That's the one I wanted. The Porsche is ready and only 3 weeks to go until we'll be seeing you here. Oh, yeah. And of course, Colin and I will be joining you for that. This other event with Colin involves tutus. Colin and I were talking about where we're going to buy our tutus to wear for the women's netball event that we're going to next Thursday. We're going to go in a Toyota car, and that is being lent to us by the Toyota dealers in Caldas de Rainha. And we'll be driving over to the netball match. We'll be taking part, and we'll be eating cake afterwards. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be quite old school, as you might expect from us to fans of 70s era light entertainment. So really looking forward to getting me tutu on with and playing netball with the women's team. I know tutu, it's a bit kind of stereotypical, but it's going to be a lot of fun. Let's face it. I won't be wearing a coconut brassiere. You know, when sometimes you see in old comedy movies a bikini made of two coconut halves. But now thinking about it, maybe I will. Colin would look fantastic in that. God squad tip of the day then, Flo Myler. That's a good name for a runner, isn't it? Myler is an 89-year-old track star. Last month, Flo was the oldest of 200 athletes who competed at the 2024 USATF New England and East Region Indoor Masters Championship. 89 years of age. She took up track at age 60 and has since won over 1,040 medals in track and field. Flo has a motto that she stands by, runs by, I suspect. Sounds like a sort of person who cannot keep still. Motivation is what gets you started. Habit is what keeps you going. That's excellent. Thank you very much for that, Flo, via Coach Turner this morning. Talking of motivation, getting you started in a habit that keeps you going, let's pop over to the Portugal Club for a moment. Look, you can see there the Good Morning Portugal show is live. Portuguese language bootcamp. What do you need to know? We've had a few votes in already. If you could master a key area of Portuguese life in 30 days, you know, a language boot camp. It's probably going to take place online, group sessions. As far as speaking the language goes, what would it be? In 30 days, would you like to master ordering a drink and a snack in a cafe? All of these entirely in Portuguese, of course. Speaking Portuguese, would you like to be able to apologize for belching inadvertently? No, that's not one of the choices, but now I mention it because that just happened to me. I might include that. Order a full meal in a restaurant, including making the reservation. I thought that was a good one. Strike up a conversation with a stranger in public, entirely in Portuguese. Go to a professional appointment, doctor, dentist, hairdresser, mechanic, etc. That's also entirely in Portuguese. And of course, again, all in Portuguese, have an appointment in a government office. That's a useful one. Which of those would you like to master within 30 days? If that could be guaranteed, which of those would you like to do? Do let me know, please, if you will. If you're a Portugal Club member, you can go and do that actually on the survey, and you can let us know in the chat here as well this morning. James is in. Hola, bom dia, Ian. Como estás? Now, I'm meant to be ignoring some of these, but I don't know which ones I'm meant to be ignoring there, James. Let's see how we get on. Bom dia, Gumpers. Feliz sexta todos. Como estão? From James to you. And a mindful moment then. Not only, I think it's one of these. Not only are we in the universe is in us. Oh, I can feel that sometimes. And then I take an Alka-Seltzer and all is well. I don't know of any deeper spiritual feeling than what that brings upon me, says Neil deGrasse Tyson. Whoa. Thank you for that, James. Yeah, not only are we in the universe is in us. Of course it is. Otherwise, it wouldn't be the universe, would it? It wouldn't be all of everything. Mindful that you could also, if you're of that persuasion and leaning, you could substitute the word life, God, love, even, couldn't you? For universe there. A capital U there with universe. Thank you very much, James. I'm writing a book to help surgeons. This is the mindful dad joke this morning. I'm writing a book. I've already gone ahead to the punchline here. I'm writing a book to help surgeons to use Eastern meditation to overcome anxiety in the operating theatre. I'm going to call it the Kalma Sutra. The Kalma Sutra. Very good. Excellent, James. And a couple of visuals from you this morning as well. What's that? That'd be nice with a bit of ketchup, wouldn't it? Knows you have to write a paper about mindfulness as the human brain, in which the universe is, of course, as we've just said there. And I forget your comment out of the way, James. I'll be able to read the punchline here this morning. Your brain also knows that you have no time to actually be mindful. One of those wonderful existential paradoxes right there. Thank you very much for that, James. And following up, your chaser for that from the Starship Enterprise is I'm ordering more red markers for the nurses. We don't need red markers. Then why did she ask for more supplies to draw blood? That is truly awful. Thank you very much. Indeed, there that is a rich theme. How many memes do you think have been originating or have originated from the Star Trek franchise there, I wonder. Thank you very much then, James, for all of that, everything today and throughout the week. Excellent service from you. And we'll see you, of course, on Monday for some mindful migration business. Bon dia, Alegria Gumpers from T-Duck then, and a bon dia, James, this morning before 8. Good morning, Coach, as well from T-Duck. I decided to switch to biking, says T-Duck, after I realized that the road to success is always under construction. Very good. And a feliz sexta-feira. For some reason, we all like writing sexta-feira with that a sort of schoolboy grin on our faces, I think. Deep thought of the day. Miss these. A deep thought of the day. When the power of love overcomes the love of power, the world will know peace. My goodness, we need that. That's what is happening, isn't it? Hopefully, we are on the verge of such an occurrence. When the power of love overcomes the love of power, the world will know peace. Could that be what's happening right now? Are we doing that? Are we on the death throes of an old world with terrible values, making way for some better ones? Hendrix is one of a disproportionate number of musicians dying at the age of 27, apparently, according to T-Duck here, including Jim Morrison. That is so what awful timing, because I think I deleted this very morning the picture of Jimi Hendrix drinking a bottle of Mateus Rosé, the iconic picture of him imbibing the Portuguese wine. So that list of people, the disproportionate number of musicians dying at age 27 includes Jim Morrison, Janis Joplin, Kurt Cobain, and Amy Winehouse, a phenomenon referred to as the 27 Club. How awful, basically. Dad jokes we will save for later on there. If you want to look at them now, you may. Let's do the lies we tell our kids, shall we now? And we'll come back to the dad jokes as a little by way of concluding and climaxing the show later on. The lies we tell our kids then. Have you said any of these to your children? if you can catch a bird by putting salt on his tail. I thought there was some truth in that. I still believe that to this day. And it's something you see, that's reinforced, isn't it, in cartoons, as I recall, as a kid. You can catch a bird by putting salt on his tail. Where would that have come from? Another lie we tell our kids, Disneyland has an underground jail for bad kids. You know what? Since the advent of the internet and some of the darker corners of the internet, that has an especially chilling ring to it. And the zookeeper just texted me, we have to leave because your crying is upsetting the animals. Oh, thank you very much for those lies we tell our kids there. Gemini Bradshaw was in with a good morning, everyone. And of course, we've heard from Alan, Owen, Pam, Antonio F, Swedish Anna this morning. Love to listen in every day, but most times I have meetings which clashes with my broadcast, which is Welsh for broadcast, I believe. Here for the duration today, as on a bus to Lisbon again, going to an exhibition. This is becoming a habit, Pam. Going to an exhibition of Paula Rego's work. Excellent choice of exhibition there. Have you got a link for that? Others would like to know about that, perhaps, here this morning, Pam. Bon voyage to you. Have a lovely time. Friday in Lisbon. How lovely. And you're going to be enjoying the springtime. Things we love about Portugal for Lord Gilchrist, of course. Springtime in Lisbon. You'll be enjoying a bit of that. It's officially spring, everybody. Whew. No vacuum filling today. Oh, wait. It's the same for me either way. Now I'm confused. Do I stop or continue with my mindful stuff? Keep going. Please keep going. I love the mindful stuff, and we will be looking forward to more of it on Monday. James Antonio Barbosa with a Bom Dia Feliz Sexta. A sexta-feira today. In the hastiness of typing messages, sometimes there are typos and letters go missing. We know what you mean, Feliz Sexta-feira there, from Antonio Barbosa. Who knew? Sounds like this sounds like another Neil deGrasse Tyson quote, doesn't it? Who knew vacuum filling could be so complex? Nature abhors it. Of course. Let's see who else has joined us since we've been chatting this morning. Springtime in Lisboa. What else do you love about Portugal? That's what Clyde's going to be talking about when he joins us at 9 this morning. I can't hang around today, says Andrew as well. Alpha needs her morning constitutional, and nobody should stand in the way of a Great Dane needing to go out and relieve herself. I was listening to an interview, says Pete, in the UK from a plumber. Do you know what? I saw that as well. A plumber, that's really brought the vibes down here this morning on Feelgood Friday. That's Pete listening to an interview with a UK plumber who had his thumb bitten off and chewed by a delivery driver in London. Ew! I wonder what that was like. For both parties, they are really difficult to sue as they don't officially directly employ anyone. There's a bit missing there, isn't it? That this was perhaps is it Deliveroo was the company there? But you know, I saw the same, well, not the same interview, but the same subject matter, and that gentleman being interviewed. I thought a number of issues were being collapsed unnecessarily in and around that. But that happens so often these days, doesn't it? I can't hang around. Yep, off for the morning constitutional. And Alan, oh, my break is over. Back to bed. Stay safe, everyone. Thanks, Alan. Right back at you. See you in Portugal soon. Bon dia, Pete from Antonio F. Good morning to you, Antonio. No normal food around there anymore. Hey, very good. Nice. And Pete is so not over that story. I think, James, you might have to give him a bit of counselling about that on Monday if he's still troubled by that. I mean, do you know what? The guy to get his thumb chewed off, that to me as well was a little, I mean, I'm not making light of the guy's situation, but it did seem to be a little over-sensationalized there. But I guess it's one of those Hannibal Lecter type stories that humans are so fascinated by. Flo Mayer, no choice, had to become Flo Mila. Maybe I've pronounced that, but with a name like Flo and Myla, no choice, had to become a runner there, of course. Carl, the Nanu is here. Carl, do you get sick when the weather changes? Me and everyone around me is sick these days, as always. Seasonal allergies. Excuse me. Now, on this matter, because I saw a news article in the Portugal Resident talking about some of the warmest weather ever. There was some sort of climate sensationalism going on, I thought, in the Portugal Resident. Not in the springtime so much. I mean, maybe my little cough this morning. I don't think it is, actually. I think it is mainly to do with the number of hangovers this week. But I do get that more than now in the winter. I may well get some sort of seasonal, what might be called a seasonal flu. But I think the body has to adjust, doesn't it? And we have to go with that flow. And I think we get a lot of illnesses from not going with the flow of our bodies. So for me, don't get so many seasonal allergies, but maybe a little bit of something more in the winter time as we're going from the warmer to the colder weather. That's more what happens to me. But I'm sorry to hear if you're struggling with that. Ashmal Yorash, amigo. There, the now known. Thank you for that question. Good to see you here this morning. Carl, you will be glad to hear, reading ahead as you have to do with Peter's comments. Carl, you will be glad to hear that I only missed your show yesterday because I was producing a small stool. Carpentry class is great. Very good, Peter. And I'm sure the whole class admired your work yesterday. Many in response to how many Star Trek memes. It's been quite the thing, isn't it? Hendrix image, thank you very much. I think we need to show the picture of Jimi Hendrix, do we not? Drinking some, look at that. I don't know who that young lady is. I'm going to go with that one because that young woman there looks a little bit like my ex-wife, actually. It can't possibly be her with the timing of such things. Let me bring that to the screen and show you the one I mean. You've probably seen it before, but it's such a good picture of Jimi Hendrix sipping the Matthias Rosé. He is one of three notables who like the Matthias Rosé. Saddam Hussein being another, and the Queen of England, Queen Elizabeth II, liked a bit of Matthias Rosé. And there he is. Doesn't that look like a wonderful apartment, flat in London, I think that is. And you can still go and see that with the wall hangings where Jimi Hendrix used to live. And who is that young lady in the picture? Looks a lot like my ex-wife, actually, I've got to say. Definitely not her, though. Smash that like button. Thanks, T-Duck, for sending us that picture so quickly there. This is catching birds by putting salt on their tails. Looks like James has actually done it. Don't put salt anywhere near slugs, however, unless you're trying to dispatch them. The trick is getting the salt on its tail there. And thanks, that's the point. Keep them occupied for a while. Good old parenting tricks there. There's a film coming out apparently about William Shatner's life. He's still a dude at 94, says Pete. Now, do you think he had a conversation with his agent many years ago? And they were talking about stage names. William Shatner might have been, Bill Smith from his earlier life. And he was thinking of going into show business. I'm thinking of calling myself William Shatner. Oh, say his agents. Not sure about that. No, I'm determined. Well, okay, it will certainly stick in people's minds, won't it? William Shatner, honestly, still a dude at 94, and a movie coming out about him soon. Hope you washed your hands afterwards is the message to you from Randy. Very good. Very good this morning, Peter. Smash the like button and bon dia. Clyde joining us in a few minutes' time. Bon dia todos from Jim White in Porto, as is JP. Good to see you here, Jim and JP. Heading to the streets to meet my wife after the gym. That's JP in Porto. Very good and not very spring-like today. You're looking out of my window. I did also see some Saharan sand reporting. It looks like one of those Saharan sand kind of days with a kind of orange glow in the sky this morning. A break from sleeping. Never considered that. Yes, a sort of wake break. How about that? It's the opposite of a siesta, isn't it? It's to wake up from your sleep. It doesn't sound as relaxing as a siesta or a siesta there. Watch out, Jackie the Humble Crafter is in as well this morning. Bon dia. Lots of lovely people here this morning. Look at that. Delivery workers from Antonio F. Delivery workers Uber Glovo will strike tonight. So are they going to do it at a time that's really going to affect people? Yes, 6 o'clock, just when everybody wants their delivery. They're going on strike. I wonder what effect that will have. Amazing. Sipping a Matthias Rosé. Yes, you're right. More like guzzling. Absolutely right there. We'll come back to your comments because it's 9 o'clock and we need to get Clyde on the screen. Hold on a minute. William Shatner is his real name. He had the chance to change it when he became an actor and he's stuck with the Shatner. His father was Joseph. A long line of Shatners. Okay, and the national bird, possibly of Portugal, is the crane. I know that's a joke borrowed from other countries with a lot of construction going on. But yes, I see cranes here in Porto. They are multiplying, like the song from Greece. And Hugh Forestier Walker Have I pronounced that correctly? Hugh FW is here. Good morning, white sun in Tondela, with some cloudy sky with the sun trying to come through. The cold country with the hot sun, of course. And it's projected to reach, talking of high temperatures. And Nuna was talking about this last night. There are some predictions of 30-degree weather in the next few days, projected to reach 26, 27 today in Edinburgh. We haven't looked at the weather for a very long time, have we? We used to do a weather and temperature report around the country, but we only do that when the weather's good, don't we? Interestingly, Squire of the Shire is also in. Morning, Squire. Good to see you. And just one more thing then, although maybe not, there may be other things on the Shatner files this morning. He did a really interesting interview saying after Star Trek was cancelled, he was living in the back of a car watching the moon landings. Rock and roll. Let's give him a nice big round of applause and bring Clyde Showalter to the screen. Good morning to you, Clyde. How are you?
Fantastic, Carl. Good to see you today.
Good to see you too. And I was saying a little bit earlier on, the last time you and I spoke, we were having a coffee, I think, in Alcobaça, weren't we? Having a chat near the Opera Cafe in that beautiful town that you've made your home in.
True. Alcobaça is spectacular. And
it really is.
Wonderful to see you again, my friend.
Oh, good to see you too. Good to see you too.
By the way, I love the Jimi Hendrix photo. Very good.
It is good. Let's have I saw you smiling looking at that. Have you seen it before?
Yes, actually. A little bit of history behind that song, or behind that album cover. That was on Graham Nash's album in 1970. And Elton John, he had a lyric about that, said, I get juiced on Matus and just hang loose. That was inspired by that Jimi Hendrix photo. Yeah, it's cool. It has a lot of history behind it. And I looked at that and I was like, that is so cool. Love rock and roll. You know that.
Well, I think that came into our conversation, didn't it? Have you been in the music business? Were you in the music business in the States?
No, not really. When I was a kid, it was a band that we hung out with back in the late 70s, right, in Boston. And, we did David Bowie covers, songs and stuff like that. However, I am going to pick up the bass this year. I'm getting the bass. I'm going to get a bass, and I'm going to learn to play bass. I saw the Red Hot Chili Peppers last summer, and I was inspired by Flea. And so I want to learn the bass.
Right. Okay. Is that what you used to play originally in the band, and you're picking up the bass again, or is it a new instrument for you?
No, new instrument. 4 strings seem a lot easier than 6. So
what an excellent thought process. And is that to get into a new band? Is there going to be the Portugal the Place band, do you think?
Mostly just for my own creative outlet, I think is a good way of putting it. And
fair enough.
Music is what I have a soundtrack in my head all the time. Everything has a soundtrack, and it's a beautiful thing. And so anyways, I like your rooster, by the way, looking over your shoulder here.
I like your rooster too.
Look at
that. That's amazing. And I made a reference to it on the slide for the show this
week. When I became a resident here, that was when I wanted to celebrate I love this country. I think Portugal is an amazing destination for a lot of reasons. And plus, it's kind of iconic. It's an iconic figure and a great story behind it,
Yes, the Barcelo Cockerel, of course. Yes, you do. And that's what we're talking about this morning, your love of Portugal, which clearly is, you have the tattoo to show it there. More than one, I think. Have you got a sardine on the other side as well?
That's right. I'm here. So sardine.
Well done. Excellent stuff.
Can cover all my major food groups,
Very good. And we need and I'm not going to ask you where you put the chips and the rice. You don't have to show me those. This love of Portugal, how did it begin? Have you always known about Portugal, or is this a fairly recent thing in the scheme of things?
Well, what happened was that I was very fortunate. I had the opportunity to travel the world a lot in a previous career. Okay. And I'd go to places, Carl, and I'd fall in love with them, whether it be, Australia, France, whatever. Well, Colleen and I had an opportunity to travel a few years ago, and she had a couple of days that she had to burn some miles. We looked at where we could go in December, and we said, been there, don't want to go back there. We said, never been to Portugal, cork trees and fado, and so we came over here with very low expectation, and within 24 hours had fallen madly in love. with the people, with the architecture,
Mm.
and the love affair continues. We're in our fourth year of actually being residents here,
Yeah.
and it's an amazing experience every day. I'm looking out my window right now. I have literally hundreds of oranges in my orange trees right here in my yard,
Yeah.
and the people are kind. You know, that there's a kindness of society here. It's safe.
Yes.
Um, my daughter Fiona, our daughter Fiona, she's 22. She can go anywhere, and and we don't worry about her safety. Which is a remarkable thing from a parent's standpoint.
Of
But
course.
but then you fall into the little things. You hear kids laughing because they don't know what a lockdown is. Kids in school actually singing songs and being kids. You
Yeah.
see
Yeah.
that makes you smile. The cost of living is affordable, comparatively. Just had a friend of mine, a Portuguese friend, just returned from Switzerland, and she was telling me how expensive coffee was there. She said, 5 euros for a cup of coffee. I'm
Can you
like,
imagine what a shock that must be to a Portuguese person having an 80-cent coffee, or in the right places, go to Pingo Doce, you can have a coffee and a pastel de nata for around €1 or something crazy like that sometimes, and then going to Switzerland or Sweden and buying a coffee or a beer. And the difference is staggering, isn't it?
it is. It really is, Carl, and it's that's one of the beautiful things here. And then you throw into that,
Mm.
Portugal is the true melting pot. I
Yes.
mean, this is a global empire
Yeah.
back in the 15th and early 16th century. Half the world was Portuguese, and it was. And then what they brought back, the riches of spices, of foods, and again, there was a tawdry side. I don't want to ignore the fact that they were also slave traders, but
Yeah.
they traveled the globe, and it came back to Portugal,
Mm.
and so the influences Portugal has, both from a culinary to a linguistics, impact across the globe, is huge. And
Mm.
here's this little country. It's the size of the state of Indiana in America. And it
Yes.
was a global empire.
It's amazing, isn't it, how it punches way above its weight in that respect, and in a kind of modest way as well. Because in the story you've told, it wasn't big in your estimation or understanding or on your radar, really, was it? It took a long time for you to discover Portugal, by the sound of it.
Yeah.
When was that? I mean, as world travelers, when was it you discovered Portugal?
It was 2019. 2019, I
2019.
think. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. And you had the
2019.
chance to go to lots of places in your career and your downtime, and you came here because I think it is because of that modesty, isn't it, about the country? And then when you've discovered it, that's changed your life completely. Obviously, you've up
Yeah.
sticks, come here,
Absolutely.
and now you help other people do that as well.
Yeah, which is a gift,
Yeah.
truly. The opportunity to help other people experience a good life where they can actually live and experience. They aren't staying cloistered in their home,
Mm.
afraid to go out. Or it's a pedestrian society. We walk everywhere. So when you walk, you say "Bon dia." It's impossible not to have a smile, when you're out walking. So we help our guests, the folks that we help come over here, see and experience that, and it's a gift, man. Pure
Oh,
and simple. What we do to help people have a great future,
what an
is
amazing 5 years! What an incredible 5 years you've had. That
yeah,
your life has changed completely.
absolutely.
Where there was once bare skin, there is now a cockerel. To show your love of this country, Vanessa's got a question for you. Do you speak Brazilian, Portuguese, or European, and which do you like better? There might be a different answer to both of those questions in
Yeah.
one there. I mean, it's got to be European Portuguese over here in Portugal, isn't it?
Yes, it's European Portuguese here,
Yeah.
obviously. It's our office staff. Our team is half our team is Portuguese. We're a team of 18,
Right.
and half the team is Portuguese.
Incredible.
Yeah,
Yes.
and so that helps us guide through all the language challenges. I struggle immensely with Portuguese. I can go to the grocery store, I can read menus, I can say hello, the basics. I haven't applied myself, and that's really, it's a great regret of mine, and it's something I want on this year is the language. It's imperative, but yeah, European Portuguese is spoken everywhere here, and we have a lot of Brazilian culture though too. We work with a
Yeah.
lot of Brazilian.
Yes. Yeah, yeah,
So,
for sure, for sure. And maybe you could help us with this question. You, Vines 10, and you, Clyde, as well. It's going to be a bit small on the screen there, but on that note, and I think a lot of people are feeling what you're feeling. You know, they know they want to speak Portuguese, and there are various reasons why
yeah.
that's not happening as much as they would like. We were discussing, Vitor and I were discussing yesterday, Vitor Costa, a Portuguese language boot camp idea. So over 30 days, instead of trying to reach some massive goal of a generalized grammar and vocabulary, how about a specific kind of results-based approach with a boot camp outcome in 30 days of ordering a drink or a snack in a cafe, all in Portuguese, of course. You know, that would be the hallmark of success here, is to do it entirely in Portuguese. Order a full meal in a restaurant, making the reservation included in that, striking up a conversation with a stranger in public, going to a professional appointment with a doctor or dentist, mechanic, that sort of thing, or having an appointment in a government office. That's a manageable chunk, isn't it? Which one of those would appeal to you? Although I suspect, even though you say you struggle a bit, I imagine you can do one or two of those already, Clyde.
The restaurant stuff is pretty good.
Yes.
It's basic stuff. And yeah, I love the idea of a boot camp, Carl. I think that is, that's the way to do it, and you want it to be conversational,
Yeah.
Portuguese. It's, the syntaxes and the adverbs and all that comes later on, but just to be able to communicate with someone is huge.
Yes.
That's a great concept. I love that.
Well, I think we'll be doing that, and thanks for your input on that. I have wanted to move to Portugal since I was 15, says Jackie. I think some people, it was the same for me. I first came here in 2007. It wasn't 10 years. Or it took me 10 years to actually make the move, but it was gestating for a long time. It sounds like for Jackie even longer. She's wanting to come here since she was 15 and now in her 50s, finally realizing my dream. That's lovely. Rui Correa in the UK, our friend in the UK, wishing everyone a good morning and lovely rest of the day. My commute in and around London is over, and I must go back to work. It's great if you do this between 6:30 and 8:30. Let me just have a quick think about that, Rui. If I'm going to do this from 6:30 to 8:30, no. But good idea. Thanks for asking, and have a great weekend. Bon fin de semana to you, Rui, and thank you for your continued correspondence. It's always great talking to you. Pam, I think people assume just being surrounded by people speaking Portuguese is enough. You need to get out there and practice every day. I think you gave that a thumbs up there, Clyde.
Absolutely. That's what it's all about. Getting out there and practicing every day, Yeah. It makes all the difference. I love that, Pam.
Yeah. And Pam lives in Alcobaça. You probably met Pam over there. There are online conversation classes in groups. Thanks, Vanessa. I think you need to be in touch with us. 913-590-303 is the number to call. Well, don't call us just yet, but send us a message or send us pics and videos to 913-590-303. Fingers crossed for me. Tomorrow, I'll buy another Euro Millions Lotto entry with the weekly shopping. If I win, I'll join you in my native Portugal ASAP. Because I'm looking forward to meeting you one day. And a bon dia, Rui from Jackie as well. And it took me over 10 years to move, says Pam. First started looking in 2004.
Wow.
Rui, believe in your dream and you are halfway there. Excellent. And that's right, says Antonio F. Any language, you need practice, even if it's your own. That's a good point, because, Portuguese people are still learning their own language with its complexities, as you see on the news from time to time when they do a street quiz. Slower, brother. Okay. Am I getting too excited talking to Clyde? Oh, I see. Or maybe she said, I'm going too fast by giving my phone number out like that. Yeah. That is just, I hasten to add, it is it's the show phone number, not my personal phone. Or actually it is, but also my personal phone number. Wonderful. Oh, and you're associated with PACA in Union, New Jersey, just in case. I wonder what that is. Is that a Portugal association? Possibly there. Thanks for joining us for the first time this morning, Venus 10. So 2019 then, this love affair. Could you tell us a little bit more about that, Clyde? What you did when you came here and how you ended up choosing Alcobaça?
Yeah, great questions, Carl. We started off the first morning we went out, we started walking, and we sat at this little cafe. In fact, we just went by the same place 2 weeks ago. We were in Lisboa. A trolley was coming down the street. There was this beautiful building that was empty. It was just a shabbiness. And I'm looking at the lace curtains in the window that, are still there from decades ago. And I'm looking around and I'm watching the people, and it's just like it resonated so deeply. We then walked and walked and walked and walked some more, and everywhere we went, we were just wowed. I probably took like 200 photos, just like snapping things everywhere. I wasn't overwhelmed with the food when I first arrived here. I felt it was kind of, but since then discovered that there's some great dining, excellent cuisine. But it was the people more than anything else. It was the kindness of everyone we met. And we started off in Lisboa, then we took the train to Porto. And at the time, there was the beginning of a hurricane was starting, and it was pouring rain. The Douro flooded our lobby. They had to move all the furniture out of the hotel lobby. And we still fell in love with it. And we went at the end of it all. We said, this is an amazing place, maybe someday. And then within the year, someday was able to happen. And we haven't looked back, Carl. And since then, Alcobaça became our home. When we arrived over here, you didn't need the 12-month lease at the time. And
Right.
So we came over, we lived in Nazaré, and we were looking to purchase a home. And at the time, our realtor said, hey, one of the partners has an apartment in Alcobaça, and we pulled up to it that morning, and it was a rainy morning. And I said, I'm not going to last 3 weeks here. This is, I was just like, I didn't want an apartment, so I was cranky about that. And we walked in there, and I was just wowed by it. It was a modern, beautiful apartment with a view of the monastery and the ancient Visigothic castle that's here in Alcobaça.
Awesome.
And it was walking to everything. We stayed there a year and a half before we are where we currently are in our current home, and we fell in love with Alcobaça. It was the
easily done, right?
It was the people. It was it isn't a one-dimensional place. The ancient Romans were here. When they were renovating the part of the monastery, putting the hotel in there, they uncovered ancient Roman ruins.
Yeah.
Years ago, a couple years back in the 90s, when they were doing the new park here, they uncovered an ancient Roman aqueduct, because most aqueducts were underground, the Romans, and they uncovered it and it started to flow. Within an hour and a half, the fountain in the monastery started to flow.
No, I didn't know that. How wonderful.
Yeah, it was all connected, which is like remarkable. So the monks that came here used the Roman infrastructure that was there.
Yeah.
And it's remarkable. You had ancient, the Visigoths were here. The tribes from Germany came up after the Roman Empire fell, and then the Moors came in. So layer upon layer of history, and I love it here.
And now the Americans, and now the the same way in time to come.
And the Americans who are here, we want to be part of this culture. We're not here to bring our American ways with us. We want to be part of Portugal. We do bring certain vestiges of it, whether it be our favorite recipes or we love our Mexican food or whatever it might be. But
that's so fascinating.
We want to be part of it. We want to be part of the community here.
Yeah.
I see most of our guests, our American guests that come here, they want to volunteer. Yeah. That's one of the top things I said. How can I volunteer? Are there opportunities for me to get involved and give back? So we love doing that.
It's interesting, isn't it? And clearly I think a lot of us, thank you very much, coffee incoming from Mrs. M there. I think a lot of us sort of modern foreigners, immigrants, incomers to the culture are very mindful of our impact, almost a little bit embarrassed and ashamed sometimes. Like, we don't want to upset things too much here. The Romans didn't do that, did they? They were quite happy to come with their ways and their aqueducts and everything. And the same with the monks as well. These are people, as you say, the Visigoths, the Romans, the monks, the religious folk who came to Alcobaça. They weren't like, oh, how can we volunteer? We mustn't be too imposing with our ways.
No, Alcobaça, right? It used to be a coastal town. The Atlantic Ocean came all the way up to Alcobaça.
Amazing.
So it was through the farming, the diversion of the rivers, and of course the natural silting over that 11 kilometers became farmland that was once ocean. Up until
rich. I mean, all of that sea-based nutrition left in that floodplain, right? Which makes it very fertile. Yes. Yeah.
So the impact that agriculture had on this area is also phenomenal.
Yes.
This wasn't always a farmlands that came in. There was a lot of the Cistercian monks who brought that here, who got their inspiration from the Moors who came in with all of, it's layer upon layer. And
Isn't it?
it's a beautiful thing. And that's why Alcobaça. And plus, you throw in the fact that we have a great climate. We're 15 minutes from the ocean, 1 hour from Lisboa. I mean, I can be in prehistoric caves in 20 minutes that have prehistoric cave drawings,
You never know when you get that urge, right?
You never can tell, right? It's cool. It's all those reasons and so much more.
Yes. Funnily enough, when I was thinking of moving to Portugal, I said that to somebody in the UK, and he said to me, "Oh, there's this place called Alcobaça," because that's often how a lot of people pronounce it, right? And he said, "Yeah, you've got to go to this place." I went for a trip, coach. He was probably on a coach trip. You've got to go to Alcobaça. It's absolutely wonderful. You'll love it. And it stayed in my mind. So we did come here, and when we came here, we did go over to Alcobaça. And tell me, is that chap? Is he still around? The guy who plays the part of King Pedro? And he used to stand out on the plaza there with a crown on and a great big regal robe. And he would have selfies taken with the crown. Is he not there anymore?
Not anymore, no.
He was such a great character, that man. And true to what this gentleman told me in the UK, it was right, absolutely right. He said, you've got to go to Alcobaça and see what it's like over there. And we love it to this day. We love popping over from San Martino de Porto, where we live, to come to Alcobaça. So much going for it, as you say.
And again, another great city, right? San Martino.
Yes.
Beautiful. I mean, they, in the harbor there, that's where they built the ships.
I understand.
The part of the foundation of the foundry where they did the shipbuilding in that harbor. That was huge.
And so understated, right? I think we've made reference to this, but this is the country of understatement and modesty, I would say, and that goes hand in hand with the kindness of the people, I would say.
Yeah, absolutely. So all those and so many more reasons, Carl, is why I love Portugal. It's a phenomenal, and it's the first place I think I've really felt. I call it home. It is home.
And you've been to one or two places in the past, have you not?
Yeah. I've been fortunate in life. I grew up in Boston, lived on the West Coast, lived in Palm Springs, California, moved to Portland, Oregon, had these great places, lived, was part of it, came to Portugal. Portugal's home.
Lovely.
And haven't looked back.
Look at this. Venus 10 says, we're nice, but we gossip. So who doesn't? Who doesn't? Well, me and Clyde are kind of gossiping here this week. Jackie, fortunately, I'm more than halfway there. This is with the lottery ticket for the weekend, the Euro Millions. Just need the other half. Or maybe I'm demanding too much from myself as usual. Dreams. Look at this. We need to help Rui this morning. Dreams. Sorry, I don't believe much in them anymore. Oh, no, come on, Roy. We can't have that, can we, on this Feelgood Friday morning? What can we do for you, Roy, to reassert your faith in life and mankind, perhaps there? You need to spend more time in Portugal, perhaps, I think. Come back to your
your dreams do come true.
Yeah. Well, clearly you're evidence of that, aren't you, Clyde?
Truly, yeah.
Yes. And you didn't hang about either, did you? You had your dream to come here, and here you are. Not only having moved your family here, but having moved many other families, helped lots of other people come as well. James considered Portugal as a possible home destination in spring of 2020. By fall of 21, I moved with everything I owned and have been here ever since with no inclination to return. About that. There is a guided walk coming soon about the water network in Alcobaça. I'm trying to go. That sounds amazing. And when you were detailing the things to do in Alcobaça, the new green park, there is something happening, isn't there? The refurb of the hotel there. Obviously, you've got your regular cake festival every year and the amazing monastery there and the castle up on the hill. Yeah. What's happening in Alcobaça? Is there a very sort of progressive and ambitious president there that's driving all of this change? Because it is expanding, isn't it?
It's expanding in the right ways. The infrastructure, the support systems that are coming into play here are phenomenal. We have 130 festival days of 130 festival days a year here in Alcobaça.
That's a good hit, right? Every third day, pretty much, is a festival.
Music, conventional suites, soup festivals, marionette festivals, arts and film. So there's always, it's alive. And with that liveliness, it just becomes an attractive place to be. So with that, it's all these decrepit shops that have been boarded up for a long time are now coming alive again.
Yeah, I've noticed that.
The restaurants, they're bringing on staff that is, employment, so that it's given them a chance to better their life. So it's a good cycle Alcabas is in right now, and the mayor plays a huge role in that. Obviously, provide the direction, and again, it's the spirit that happens here. And, I don't want to go too heavy on Alcabasa, but it's a good place.
No, well, that's where you're from. You are the unofficial ambassador this morning. I mean, the Alcabasa ambassador. It is a place to be shouting about, crowing like a Barcelo cockerel about, because it is incredible. James Kay is with us as well this morning. Just arrived in Castelo Branco, viewed a few houses. Absolutely fantastic. Yes, because there's a whole lot more to Portugal as well. Food is great. Looking forward to finding our forever home and joining in with the local community. We've got some great friends over there, James Kay. Stay in touch with this community and we'll introduce you to some amazing people over in that part of the country. And when it comes to the people you're working with, Clyde, and volunteering, you can always send your clients to ReFood or GAPA to volunteer. I imagine you've got a few ideas already with that, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And Pamela, I will follow up with you on that, because again, we get questions on this every day. So this is good.
Excellent.
We'll do that, Antonio. Bolsa voluntary. Yeah.
Okay. And also the King's not been seen since the pandemic. A casualty, perhaps. Oh dear. There. I'd love to see him again. I remember having some fantastic and fascinating conversations with him. Don Pedro there on outside the monastery. Minho as well. Yep, another great part of the country. I mean, that's the other thing, isn't it? There's enough to keep you going, Clyde, here, isn't there? With just staying inside the country with other touristic adventures for yourself.
And it's distinctively different. If you go up to the north, you have that Celtic influence up there. You come to the south, you have the Moorish influence, and it's apparent both in the festivals, in the foods, and even the inflection of languages. The north, Viana de Castelo is a beautiful city. You go up to the north area, spectacular. Braga, anything north of Porto. I love that region. That's our getaway. When we want to go somewhere, we go up to the north. But the Algarve is stunningly beautiful. You have the Alentejo. There's so many distinct parts. And again, spin the roulette wheel.
Yes, absolutely. Have fun here in Portugal.
Won't be disappointed, That's the thing.
Now, I've heard of it referred to as the California of Europe. This is another comparison here. Pete being a bit rude, but he's like that. Quite fittingly, on William Shatner's 94th birthday, which it appears to be today, Portugal is Europe's Canada. I've not heard that comparison.
I like that better.
Quiet, understated, underpopulated, and next to some awfully noisy neighbours.
Yeah.
How rude. He's talking about Spanish, of course, there. An interesting comparison. I'm all my aunts report directly to the Luso. No one asked for the help. I'm not sure what that means, but that's the tiers of Portugal, isn't it? And who really runs the country, I think. Some of the more senior ladies there. Thank you for being here this morning, Vanessa 10. Bon dia todos. Still dry today. Chilly, but dry in Wales, in the País de Gales over there. For me, it's not about the location. It's the feel, the rhythm and flow. The energy moves with me, not against. That's another lovely way of putting it.
Yes.
What I love about Portugal. That's the theme today. I realized recently that all the holidays I ever went on, I was looking for my home, not bothered about holidays now. That's also interesting. Thank you for that. Yeah, I love that amount of parties for my near future. Yeah, 1 in every 3 days in Alcabasa is a party. The area between the monastery and the castle is going to be redeveloped soon. So more expansion there in Alcabasa. Sintra, historic and beautiful. Venus 10 knows her Portugal clearly. Don't mention the air, says the Portuguese. It's just a Saharan sand at the moment, Portugal.
That's all.
Stop moaning, mate. OMG, so untainted by the... She's really getting carried away now, isn't she? Ew, that's the air quality I think she's talking about. Luso Americano is... Oh, okay, I beg your pardon. Is Portuguese newspaper in America only. Didn't know that. And the Portuguese gave the car its annual wash yesterday. Looks as though it's just got back from Mars. It was your fault then. Portuguese are washing his car. And
washing the car. That's always the right?
Thank you so much for being with us this morning. Before you go, Clyde, I'd love an insider tip on great places to eat, or not necessarily to eat. If someone's going to Alcobaça, they're going to know, aren't they, looking at a tourist guide and hearing our conversation today, to go to the monastery, to the Green Park, and there are some obvious things to do. Walk up to the castle. What will they not know about that you as an insider knows about? Where should they go?
Give me a second on this one right here.
Yeah, of course. I imagine you're spoilt for choice. That's part of the problem.
It's the area that's all downtown in the center. But walk along. There's a pathway that goes along the monastery, and it's a walkway that follows the river and cuts over to the Green Park, and it has pedestrian walkways here that you can go for kilometers. That are little known, and it's a great way to see the city, the town, without having to be in the trafficy areas. But it's a pathway that falls along the backside of the monastery. Walk that. It's worth doing, and it's fascinating. In its heyday, the monastery had 1,000 monks who lived there, a vow of silence. So all those grounds have a certain etherealness.
I'm sure.
This went on for a long time. But do that for sure. That's one of the things I would definitely recommend. And of course, dining here is superlative. Whether it be our friends at Pratus restaurant, some Regis Taberna and meat. Great place to go for hamburgers. A Casa, which is a great, if you want your wine shop, and great sandwiches, vintage.
I know what you mean. That wine shop on the back street there is incredible, isn't it? They got the wines down the stairs as well. And your pizza shop there, your pizza restaurant's really very good on the corner there too, isn't it? Very authentic.
Pizza, I call it our Michelin star pizza. It's owned by Antonio Pinderas, which is the Michelin star restaurant next to the Casa wine shop. Well, they own the pizza place, so they get the great ingredients. You get the same chef that works at Antonio Banderas making this remarkable pizza. It's Michelin star pizza. It's the best.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Of course, we must mention Portugal, the place. You are still helping people move to Portugal, right?
Every day, in fact,
with every aspect of the move. If you could tell us a little bit more about, just before you go, Portugal, the place, and how to get in touch with you to do that.
Fantastic. Thank you, Carl. What we do, we're with you before, during, and after the whole relocation process, where you're looking to rent, are looking to purchase, are looking just to find which city works best for you. That's where we work best. And when I say we work with you beforehand, we help with the timeline, all the guidance that goes into getting your visa, helping you set up your bank account, getting your NIF, everything that goes into play with that, including currency conversion. We have great referral parties we work with. Then once we find your place, we help you set it up. We will accept deliveries. We turn on utilities, heat, hot water, electricity. We make sure your home is ready for you the day you arrive. Then when you arrive, we have a program, a service that we call Ajuda. It's our assistance service, and there we're with you. And we will then do translations, make appointments, help you set up your cell phone service, help you with your health and medical. We recommend Serenity Health Concierge. They're fantastic. So we're with you every aspect of the journey of relocating here, and it's a pleasure to do that. And Portugal is really the place. I mean,
really, and what an amazing business you've created. I'm talking to Colleen about this previously. You have 18 in your team, is that right? Did you say?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah,
I mean, that growth and that contribution economically to Portugal, I think, is incredible as well, and that in a very short space of time too.
Yeah, it's been again, dreams do come true.
Come on, Roy. Yes, we want to leave that message hanging in the air for Roy in the UK there. But thank you, Roy, for joining us this morning. Yes, dreams can come true. You're seeing a man who's done that on the screen here with wife Colleen and all the team at Portugal the Place. How to get in touch? What's the website address for Portugal the Place?
www.portugaltheplace.com.
How about that?
That's easy to find.
All right,
Carl.
Bon fin semana to you, and love to Colleen and all the team there over in Alcobaça, and I'll see you soon. And good luck with the bass playing as well.
I'll keep you updated, my friend. We'll see you very soon.
All right, bye for now. Nice big round of applause for Clyde. Take care, man. Bye for now. Ciao. All right, there he goes. How wonderful. What a lovely conversation, inspiring conversation this morning with Clyde there. Absolutely not VNest 10. You should not be quiet. This is your first time on a live thing. No, I was admiring the fact that you're getting into the spirit of the live stream this morning. This is how we roll most mornings. Little bit of Feelgood Friday flavor and seasoning added this morning. I wonder if we've got, let me just drop a quick message to Siobhan, because I'm hoping Siobhan will be joining us to tell us about the spring fair that's coming up this weekend over at Quinta de Saleo de Porto. Where's her message? My goodness. Thanks, everybody, for all your messages on 913-590-303. Siobhan, let me just send her a quick message. Are you joining us? It'd be lovely to have a chat with Siobhan. She's got back from an inspiring trip that she was telling us about recently, right? Over in Eastern Europe, I believe, if I remember correctly. I think she's had an amazing time over there. So I'm just sending her that message. Now, are you joining us? And let me just give her the link one more time as well, and she can come and have a chat with us this morning. We've still got some highlights in the Bairrada district, and there's some work to be done, actually. Others are needed on the Gumper map. Bairrada is doing a great job, by the way, covering the Bairrada area. And if you want to represent your area in a similarly passionate and enthusiastic way, you can do that over on the Gumper map. So we're very welcome to points of interest, to events, and other wonderful things that other Gumpers should know about over on the Gumper map. So do have a look over there. In fact, we might have a little journey over there ourselves this morning. If I can actually... I'm looking at my San Martino de Porto website. I need to go to goodmorningportugal.com, and we can find the Gumper map over there. So we may well have a look at that as well in just a little while. Do you know what? I think I've lost it on my own website. There's so much going on over there. Maybe somebody could send me the link to that on my own website. There at goodmorningportugal.com. If we've got time, we'll come back to that. But we'll have a look at the events that Bairrada has shown us, because not only are they what's happening in the Bairrada, they do reflect what's going on all over the country as well, and some of the wonderful culture that's happening here in Portugal. And there's some linguistic insights as well. Look who else is here this morning. We've got Bondia from the marketing team at the Prohibition Bar Obidos. This is going to be another thing that's added to the another jewel in the crown of the Silver Coast here. Go Richard Allen. Saw Richard and got an update about what's going on at the Prohibition Bar. Should be opening next Friday. It's going to be a busy week next Friday. So they're looking to open up at the Prohibition Bar. Do come along to that. That's going to be a lot of fun. That's the day after. I think I'm going to be with the marketing team at the Prohibition Bar right here in my tutu. I don't know if you were here earlier on and you heard that. Colin and I are going to be coming over to play with the netball team in our tutus. No pictures allowed. We're hoping the paparazzi won't be hiding in bushes to take pictures of our modest moment working with the women's netball team over there, Obidos Way. I need your contact info ASAP. Is that from Portugal the Place? I think Venus 10. Go to portugaltheplace.com and you'll be able to find Clyde over there. Who is this boom deer here? Facebook user, and Antonio F urging us to hit that like button, folks. These days, says Facebook user FU, these days we have Sahara's sand in atmosphere, no blue sky, and temperatures reaching 30 degrees. Yep, it would appear that way today. Would love the link as well. What are you joining us on the screen? Should we do that? Okay, I'll tell you what. If you'd like to join us on the screen, Venus 10, never met you before. This could be interesting. That's the link to the show if you want to join us on the screen from, are you in New Jersey at the moment? It'd be great to have a chat with you on the screen this morning. Venus 10 says, James, you're doing great. Jump right in and keep on jumping. That is the Gumper way. Absolutely. Coach Turner will be proud of us. I'm proud of you for recommending that there, James. Okay, so we'll have a look at a few of these events while we're waiting for either Siobhan or Venus 10 to join us this morning on the screen. That's Nunu. Good morning to you, Senor Mensch there of Winsurance. Good to see you there, my friend. And bon fin semana to you. Let's have a look then at some of these events that are coming up. We had a look at the, we can talk about the Spring Fair Festival at Quinta de Saleo de Porto. If and when Siobhan joins us, there's the rugby in Caldash. Tonight, I will be for the coffee course. Such a busy week. I'll be popping along for the coffee course and dessert. Hopefully, Marco, can you save me dessert for this tonight? This is amazing. There may be a room to still squeeze you in if you try them on 917-632-020. That's the Storyteller's Palace tonight, the immersive experience with a test of your palate. Unique wine tasting, tea tasting, coffee tasting, and live fado tonight at the Storytellers Palace. That will be a wonderful event. I think that's the third or fourth of its kind. I've been to I think this is maybe the third one. What an amazing evening Marco and team put on there at the Storytellers Palace. At the Korea Palace, going from one palace to another here in Portugal, the Korea Palace this weekend, it's that Espumante, the Encontro Nacional de Espumante, the big meeting of the Fizz. Millesime, is that pronounced there? The second edition of this event at the Korea Palace Hotel. It's worth going there just to see the Korea Palace Hotel and the little town of Korea where we used to live. That's on tomorrow, and the day after, Saturday and Sunday, from 3 in the afternoon till 8 in the evening on Saturday and until 7 on Sunday. And it's €10 for one day, 15 for both. That's a bargain, isn't it? And there's going to be some food included in that. Looking at what else is going on in that region then, paddleball and tennis, you can try that in Oliveira de Bairro, a special Easter flavoured trial of paddleball and tennis there. And that's today, tomorrow and Sunday, open to everyone from beginners to regulars. Also, Feira de Março, we've got a March fair there, lots to see and do at Aveiro's main fair, a big fairground, a big indoor expo centre, a market, free events like Zumba, dancing, etc., plus food, fun and frolics. Also, big name bands in the evening. Jose Seed is there. He's a local lad, I believe, there. So that's the big March fair starting tomorrow and running for pretty much a month. The big fair and expo in Aveiro, a great time to go to Aveiro in the next month. Free guided forest walk in Aransada de Vulga in the Aveiro 11K walk there through the forest. That looks beautiful. And that is today, folks. That started 15 minutes ago. If you missed it, maybe make a note for next year. We've got the Ship Museum, Santo André in Aveiro, 2 days of events starting tomorrow at the Santo André Museum Ship with a desert puppet show, is that right? Directed by Rui Queiroz de Matos there. All sorts of things going on throughout the day there. A little tour around the ship by the look of it as well in Aveiro. Lots going on in wonderful Aveiro. Free karate championships in Oliveira de Bairro. Maybe you can join a class there and have a little, I don't know, is it possible to have a karate taster? Possibly not, unless there are paramedics standing by for such an event. There you go. That's the beautiful picture there you can see is the Korea Palace that I've already mentioned this morning, and that is the Spumant tasting, testing, enjoying, basically, sparkling wine event, Korea Palace Hotel. There's a hotel there which you can stay at, of course, the Korea Palace itself. There's another one across the road, the Spa Hotel in the Teramash Gardens, and there's also a golf course there in Korea. Free wonderful women's event in Agada to celebrate, a little bit late on this, on the International Women's Day, but this on the Sunday, 24th, and it's a run and a walk, an 8-kilometer run and a 5-kilometer walk there. Sign up for this super fun free morning of activities in the great city of Agada, place of the umbrellas, which that little emoji is referring to there. Thank you, Andy, for these. Sunday's walks will take place on 24th of March in the very picturesque Vacarissa. Free, but please help others by making a small food donation. There you go. A lovely guided nature walk in near Melhada, celebrated place of the Leitão, the suckling pig here in Portugal. The cultural seed festival. There's a seed festival coming up in Mamarosa. Spring is about to bloom, and with it will sprout another edition of the Seed Festival, rich in art, culture, sustainability, nature, and activities for the whole family. If you've been wanting to go to the Bairrada area, so many things to attract your attention here right now. Thanks to you, Andy, for these. Free guided walk in Aldea de Pena as well. That's the 7th of April. One for your diary there. Just a couple more there. National Mill, the Munhas weekend in I'm going to go with Vassarissa there in Melhada. So there we go. It's the celebration of the Portuguese windmill, Munhas there. And finally, thank you, Andy, an evening of food and fado in Peldrava Bairrada. Sign up for this fantastic evening of fun, food and fado 4-course meal plus live fado for only €20 there on the border of Coimbra and Aveiro. That is a beautiful Venn diagram where Coimbra meets Aveiro. That is where the Korea Palace Hotel is, basically. You will not be disappointed if you have a little wander around where the district of Coimbra meets the district of Aveiro. Have fun up there if you're going to any of those events. I know that some of you are. Right, back to your comments. And, of course, the dad jokes to finish with this morning. Siobhan may still join us. And our new friend as well, Venus 10, is very welcome to join us this morning. If you want to do that, just click on that link, or anyone else who'd like to jump on and tell us what they love about Portugal this morning. Thanks for joining us, Nunu. And greetings to you from Peda as well. Good to have you here, Peda, this morning. Be careful, says Antonio F. With that walk starting at the GNR. If you're drunk, you might get detained there. Yes, be careful. Act sensible. If you're gathering outside the GNR police station there for one of those particular walks that I just mentioned. Great. Are you going to join us, Venus 10? Desh on the screen. The link there is for doing so. And I was going to try and find the I was going to try and show you the Gumper map, wasn't I? I'll tell you what. Let's see if we can find it live. I'm not feeling very confident about this. I think I've put too much on my own website here. So let's bring it onto the screen. This is goodmorningportugal.com. When you arrive there, it's all about what we're talking about this morning, loving Portugal. What do you love about Portugal? There's still time to tell us what you love about Portugal. I think only one person's done that. Is that right this morning? And that would have been Lord Gilchrist, who loves the spring in Lisbon. So do come in with what you love about Portugal on the chat, or give me a call, or join us on the link that I've put on the screen there, the StreamYard link there, and you can join us on the screen this morning. Here's the website. Let's have a quick scroll through, shall we, and see if we can find the Gumper map. We're, of course, previewing our first episode of The Englishman and the Irishman walking into a bar there. That's taking pride of place. We're very pleased with that, and Andy is working on another edit. I believe the next that we're going to publish is when we went into a bar, the Bar Paraiso in Tomar. So that's next to come, and that should be within the next week or so. You can join the Portugal Club direct from the homepage there if you'd like to do that. It all helps. Every bit of support for this community and how we endeavor to support other people interested in moving to or living in Portugal. If you want to help us in those efforts, you can click on the Portugal Club and join us and get lots of extra benefits and all sorts of wonderful things that you'll get access to at the Portugal Club there, that banner at the top of our homepage there. Now, I'm having a look here at these tabs. GMP Vibes, Meet the Team, Portugal Resident column. I don't think that's been updated. I think I might be missing one or two columns. My column was out yesterday, published on a Thursday in print, shagered but not stirred. My thoughts about Shager's popularity in the recent election. Of course, the all-new craft beer corner. That's where we were last weekend in Caldas de Rainha, at that wonderful beer festival of theirs over there. Are you a Gumper? You can take the test over there. Our Discover Portugal tab with all... there it is, the events and the map. But there are our previous events in Tomar, Coimbra, going off Filomena to the Xiste and Beirão parts of the country as well. That was a wonderful trip to central Portugal, Araújo, San Martinho, and we're going to do more in San Martinho in the coming months. And the events and map. There you go. Just want to show you that quickly because Siobhan has joined us now. I think pulled over into a lay-by just to give us five minutes of her time to tell us what's going on with the Spring Festival. But just very quickly here, if you go to goodmorningportugal.com and you go to the Discover Portugal tab, of course it was under there all the time, like a Scooby-Doo mystery. That's where you'll find the Gumper map, and you can zoom in on any of the events, especially the events that Andy puts up there for us. So let's remove that for the time being, and let's welcome to the screen Siobhan. Thanks for pulling over and talking to us this morning, Siobhan. How are you this morning?
I'm good. How are you, Carl?
Well, I'm very giddy and excited. It's spring is in the air, isn't it? You must be feeling this up at the Quinta as well.
Yeah, the flowers are all out. And there's all kinds of fun things going on. Spring's awesome, isn't it?
Isn't it? And people, I think, are getting quite excited as well. You know, a little bit of Portuguese sunshine on people changes them, I think.
I agree. Everyone's a bit more chilled, aren't they? Happier. Everyone smiles more. I like your cup. I do like your cup, Carl.
It's very good. You can get. Oh yeah, of course, you can get these. First of all, before we talk about your spring festival, how
Yeah.
was your trip away?
Carl, it was amazing. It was
Yeah.
amazing. It was, I think, probably a life-changing moment for me. Not that, yeah, it was very, very special. It was a training program for youth trainers. So, met great people from all over the world, mostly Europe. Lots of networking, lots of workshops, the expedition, 3-day expedition in the mountains. That was amazing.
And where
Uh,
was it? Which country were you in?
we were in Romania, in
Romania. Okay.
Transylvania. Yeah, not far from Dracula. It was a bit far, but I didn't get to see him. I was a bit disappointed.
Oh,
But Bear Country, beautiful. I mean, I saw everything beautiful, obviously. People were really, really friendly. So it was really good. It was tough.
yeah.
They push you out of your comfort zone. But it's great, and excited about like future partnerships with other associations. And I think our youth program is going to boom with all of this, in the sense where we can just do even better stuff than we're doing already. So
How
cool.
wonderful! That is the
Yeah.
true spirit of Outward Bound, is it not?
Yeah. Oh yeah, it was true Outward Bound. Yeah.
Yeah,
So we're
wonderful.
kind of, yeah, we're joining forces a little bit with Outward Bound. So who
Okay.
knows? Who knows what the future holds?
And you're back here for a rest, not because you're getting busy organising your
You know what, Carl? I got home Saturday night, and of course there was a party in Lisbon I had to go to on Sunday, birthday
Of
party,
course. Yep.
chill thing. And I'd only unpacked one of my bags, so say like my main clothes bags, and everything else was still packed. I only unpacked it last night because
Incredible.
we've been running and
Well,
we
no,
did.
you know what? Leave it, because there's going to be more invitations. Just leave it. Just live out of that bag for the rest of the spring and the summer.
I don't want to be invited to another winter expedition now. If somebody's inviting me to the sun, that's cool. But the winter, no, no, no. Yeah,
Okay,
I did
fine.
pack it all together, so it's ready to go for the next expedition, which will probably be next month. To be honest, I think we'll be doing one next month. So, yeah. But this weekend I came home and getting ready for the spring festival, which is going to be pretty huge, I think. And I'm actually just in Lorinya at the moment, meeting up with our partners from the Lorinya Park West, bringing over stuff about the UNESCO project and Salier and all of that. So that's why I'm here. So this weekend should be fun. I think we have about 20 sellers, stalls, crafts, jewelry. Our food truck will be open. So it is it's an association, like open day kind of thing. So we'll have all kinds of fun things going on, and we have I was planning on selling all my own plants, but I realized I didn't make enough babies. So we have also as plant specialist is placing all her plants at our place, so that's wonderful. So we'll have a nice selection of plants. Yeah, it's looking good. I'm looking forward to it, actually, Carl. And I know that there are a lot of people coming, so we're a pretty big team. Thank goodness for our volunteers.
Yeah.
And everybody just running around trying to get everything organized for our fun weekend. And hopefully the weather will be nice. On Saturday we have a quintet band from 4 to 6, if I'm not mistaken. And on Saturday, we have a friend of ours that will be DJing, who is amazing. I don't know if you were there last time, but he's really, really special.
I've heard of this DJ. I haven't actually heard them playing. But, yeah.
Let's go around. So, Carl,
Yes.
are you in town this weekend?
I am. I'm so exhausted, but you're putting me on the spot here for this weekend. I think we'll pop along with the kids. I don't know if I can bring my whole outside broadcast kit, but a live video, probably from.
Yeah, no, you
I'm
just,
sure
I mean,
like to pop up.
it's not about work, Carl. Just come and enjoy a cup of
I
tea
would
with
love
me.
that. I would love that. Yeah, because the vibe is so good, so easy going up at Quinta. And you know what? It's actually quite a nice time to come to the Bay, isn't it? This is our very own Bay area here. We've got San Martino on one side, we've got Salier on the other. And it's not too busy at the moment. It's not too late to book somewhere, is it? An Airbnb or a hotel in San Martino. Walk across to Quinta. Lovely weekend.
And we have great local Airbnbs too. And I think that this is one of the best times of the year because we're not We're not overloaded by tourists. The beaches are clear, they're clean, everything's nice at this time of the year. So I think it's a great time. And in the back, there's loads of wildflowers that are coming out. So a nice place to hike and enjoy the scenery. So yeah, guys, come on. And I know there are a lot of people coming this weekend. So
sounds wonderful. Okay, and the beaches are clean largely because of your efforts as well, keeping the beaches clean over there. So there's so much to do, not just this weekend at A Quinta Salida de Porto with Siobhan and the whole team over there, including volunteers. So shout out to them as well. Just before you go, street food, it says on the map, they're always interested in the food. What's going to be available to be eaten at A Quinta this weekend?
So it's going to be our food. I don't know if you did last time because last time we did our wraps. So we have wraps which are chicken, vegetarian or vegan, and it was actually what we did in our food trailer in England, and we were extremely successful with it. So everybody loves them. So we decided to go for that again. It's always fresh and lots of veggies in it and fresh veggies. So a little bit of something easy food for everybody, and no plates and forks and knives. So we don't have to worry about that running around. And then, so that'll be the trailer, and there'll be Larissa in the trailer this weekend. And hopefully we'll have enough food for everybody, but everybody can just show up. The only thing we are asking at the door, because we are an association, there's a €1 entry fee. Which actually goes to a free raffle ticket. So that's more of a legal thing because as an association, we have to make sure that everybody's written down and marked and before they come in. And then there'll be a maximum capacity. We won't go over 150, 200 people at a max.
Wow, what a weekend ahead then at A Quinta. Any of that organic wine? Are you picking up some of the wine from Lourinhã as well?
But I'm trying to.
Okay, all right. I look forward to a glass of that.
I'm trying to get a hold of Marcus actually whilst I'm here. You're quite right. Yes. So Marcus is like my cousin, but I think he's been traveling or away. So I'm trying to get a hold of Marcus to get us some of that biological incredible wine. But Carl, there's no promises yet. It's been a crazy last week.
There's going to be food, there's going to be drink, and there's going to be lots of wonderful people, and we're going to have a fun time up there at Salida de Porto. Thank you. I know you're busy, so I'll let you go and carry on organising the weekend ahead. Cheers, Siobhan. Lots of love to everybody. Bye for now. Bye. Right. Okay, so there it is, tomorrow and Sunday, 12 till 6, just €1 to get in, and the lovely easygoing vibes of A Quinta Salida de Porto over there on the other side of the bay from me. Doesn't look like VNES 10 is joining us this morning, but maybe he will another time, Pam is saying. Sorry, I don't have time to share events there. This is on the Gumper map, but isn't it funny? A lot of people have retired, haven't they, when they've come to Portugal, and they just don't have any time. Still, they thought when they retired from work, they'd have loads of time on their hands to do exactly what they wanted to do, like learn the bass, learning to play the bass like Clyde was talking about. But no, people get busy, don't they? We like to fill our time, fill the vacuum, as it were. Sorry, I don't have time to share events there, but I do share a lot on Alcobaça International Facebook and Instagram. So I'll tell you what I'll do, Pam. I'll put a link. I think that's what I need to do on that same page to these Facebook and Instagram pages for the rest of the country. So thank you for that. If you could do me the honor of sending me a link to where your events are posted, I will make sure there's a link to that from the Gumper Map page as well. I'm not retired. All right. I wasn't saying you necessarily, Pam, but I can't see you ever retiring. A lot of people are retired who've come here, but even then, they think they're going to have a nice, easygoing time having a coffee and a pastel donato at 11 o'clock every day. And it doesn't always work out like that. They're busier than ever with an incredible social life here in Portugal. Text. What's that? You eating text this morning there? Global Nobles, Greg. So good to see you this morning. Thank you for being here. Thanks, everybody, for being here this morning. We've just got those dad jokes to finish with. Thank you, T-Duck, for popping up this morning with your dad jokes and all the other content that you've brought with us for this Feel Good Friday, putting the sex into Sexta-feira. My boss just said to me, "You've been late 5 days this week. Do you know what that means?" I certainly do. It's Friday! Yes, I would love to see that played out in real life. I only wish I thought of that myself whilst I was working. I'm my own boss, so it's not going to work especially well. Sometimes when I close my eyes, I can't see. Never burn bridges, adds T-Duck here. Just loosen the bolts a little every day. Much easier. Oh, and that extra comment there. Yes, let's finish, shall we, with that picture of the wonderful Jimi Hendrix sipping, more like guzzling. What a lovely image to end on this morning. And see you on your way. Obviously, a tragic member of the 27 Club, but what an amazing musical legacy. Having a wonderful time there. And just the spirit of that time. I guess we need a bit more of that in these times, don't we? That easygoing, carefree way, the great music and the great fun that clearly those two are having on that screen there. And thank you for that additional information from the Graham Nash album. It was on an album cover, apparently, Graham Nash. Of Crosby, Stills and I think, if I'm not mistaken there. Thank you very much for finding that for us this morning, T-Duck. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I wish you a bon fin de semana. Absolutely. Have a great weekend, and we shall see you on Monday for a little bit of mindful migration matters with James. Have a wonderful weekend. Bye for now.